Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. I am here not for the 3 count with SP3, but instead for another show review. I've done ROH Final Battle. I've done New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning in Sapporo Night 1. So I am back for Night 2. Night 2 in Sapporo, which featured two huge matchups of Chaos versus Suzuki Gun that were both set up during New Year's Dash on January 6th. Of course, that was covered by our good friend Jay News of Jay News Japan. He'll be back with his review of New Beginning in Osaka. That's coming up during the week that happened over this past weekend. But I am here to cover everything that went down on New Beginning in Sapporo Night 2 last weekend. It happened on February 2nd, 2020, and we kicked off the show with Toru Hanare going one-on-one with Young Lion Yota Tsuji. This was a pretty solid matchup. I felt like it was very hard-hitting. Tsuji is someone that I don't see a lot of times. I regularly see him in maybe the big tag team matches at the beginning of the show. So to see him in a singles match was very eye-opening. He has a lot of potential. He's a very hard-hitting style for a Young Lion. Of course, he's got all the Young Lion go-to moves like the Boston Crab and stuff like that, but he's a very hard-hitting type of guy, and the match was very solid. It was around 8 minutes. Toru Hanare got the win with the Toa Bottom, so back-to-back good big victories for him. He started off the year getting a big victory on the Wrestle Kingdom pre-show, and ever since then he's been running off a little bit of a streak here. Toru Hanare, after the match, challenged none other than Shingo Takagi for a never open weight championship matchup. From what I've seen from Hanare, I haven't seen him too many times in single matches, so he definitely impressed me in this one as well. But I would love to see the hard-hitting style of Hanare going one-on-one with Shingo Takagi, who's probably top 5 wrestlers in all of New Japan. You can at me if you want. I won't say don't at me if you want, because I stand by that. Our second match was a bunch of the New Japan dads. This was the Nakanishi retirement special on this show right here, as Hiroshi Tenzan teamed up with Nakanishi and Tiger Mask to verse Toge Makabe, Toran Honma, and Uemura. Uemura, of course, teams up regularly with Tiger Mask, so they were on opposite sides in this one. So I was definitely looking forward to the back and forth between those two, because if you've been following their little story of their mentor and protege type of relationship, Tiger Mask has been showing a bunch of tough love to Uemura, so it was cool to see them on opposite sides and have them be able to go one-on-one. Tiger Mask, in the end, gets the victory with the Tiger Suplex on Uemura, so once again showing his protege who the real mentor is in this one. Nakanishi got to do all of his greatest hits. After the match, Nakanishi thanked the fans for everything that they do. Of course, he's finishing up his career at the end of the month for the big Nakanishi retirement show, so definitely looking forward to that and him begging to do. It's definitely time for him to go, but sad to see one of the New Japan dads go right now. This match was definitely a solid, very decent match, around 10 minutes in length. I enjoyed it. It was probably the weakest match of the night, I want to say, but still very enjoyable. Third match of the night, this one was very interesting. This was one I was looking forward to. You had El Phantasmo going one-on-one with the newest Young Lion from the LA Dojo, Gabriel Kidd. Gabriel Kidd is known for his work in the UK, the UK independent scene. Him and ELP have gone one-on-one in the UK previously, but this was their first match in Japan in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Gabriel Kidd has decided to take his talent to the LA Dojo to kind of retrain himself and become a and get his own spot in New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is one of the hottest promotions in professional wrestling. The two know each other very well, like I said before, from the UK scene. It was a good match, in my opinion. You had ELP playing the very annoying shithouse heel that he always plays, with his heel work and his cheating and his just being a complete dick to Gabriel Kidd. Gabriel Kidd definitely showed a bunch of potential. It was ELP who got the victory with a super kick and then a top rope splash. After the match, he hit CR2 post-match on Gabriel Kidd, and that was the setup that they were going to have a rematch on the Road 2 show in Kurgan Hall during the week. We won't be covering the Road 2 shows on the channel, but like I said before, you can check out the Osaka review. That's going to be on the next edition of J News Japan, and I'll tell him to kind of go over what was the most notable things from the Road 2 shows on that edition. For our fourth match of the evening, we had a Chaos versus LIJ battle. This was a preview of the Never Openweight 6-man tag team title match that was going to happen on the Road 2 show in Kurgan Hall. It was Hiroki Goto teaming up with Tomohiro Ishii and Robbie Eagles of Chaos to versus the LIJ trio of the Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions Shingo Takagi, Evil, and Bushi. This one was probably the best match of the night up until this point. I just love the chemistry between Goto and Shingo going one-on-one. Ishii and Evil, they had their little face-off. And even Eagles and Bushi, they have established a little pretty good chemistry themselves. Really strong match to follow up on the night before, I want to say. And really strong match to build up for the championship matchup later in the week. Like I said, it was a preview of the Road 2 show. And Eagles once again gets the victory with the Ron Miller special, making Bushi tap out for the second straight night. They are really doing a lot of good work establishing Robbie Eagles as a junior heavyweight to watch in 2020. I feel like he's going to be the next big challenger for Hiromu Takahashi following his big matchup with Ryu Lee at the Osaka show. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes on Eagles because he's been doing very good work on these lower card tag team matches to start off the year. Coming up, our fifth match of the night. Before our fifth match of the night, actually, they announced that earlier in the day on February 1st, in Atlanta, Georgia, on the New Beginning USA Tour, it was FinJuice who lost the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles to none other than the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. They got the victory using the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team title and nailing FinJuice with it to get the victory and regain the titles for the record tying 6th time. Congratulations to GOD. They are friends of the channel. We've interviewed Tama Tonga in the past, so definitely congratulations on them for getting their names in the record books. So, yes, our fifth match of the night was to preview the IWGP United States Championship matchup that is going to be coming up on the Osaka show, as well as the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title match, as it was Jon Moxley, the IWGP US Champion, teaming up with Taguchi and Roppongi 3K to versus the Suzuki Gun foursome of Dookie, Minoru Suzuki, Kanemaru, and El Desperado. This was a crazy matchup from the opener. As soon as Jon Moxley makes his entrance, Minoru Suzuki goes through the crowd and meets him in the crowd so they can start brawling through the crowd. Literally, I wouldn't say the first 5 to 6 minutes of this match, the fans in the crowd, the announcers, are not even paying attention to the guys in the ring. You got Taguchi, Roppongi 3K, Dookie, Kanemaru, and El Desperado working to get the attention of the crowd. No one's paying attention because everyone's paying attention to the wild and crazy brawl that is going on in the crowd between Suzuki and Moxley. This feud has been awesome. It's been awesome, and I can't wait to watch the Osaka match because that's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild, and it's going to be freaking awesome because these guys, anytime they are in the same vicinity, all eyes are on them. No one cares what's going on. They had a match with Okada in it, and no one cared about Okada because all they cared about Suzuki and Moxley brawling and going at it, and who is the hardest, toughest bastard in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that continued here. I loved every minute of this matchup. Even when I finally did divert my attention back to the ring, the sequences between Roppongi 3K, Kanemaru, and El Desperado were really good. Taguchi got the win in the end with the ankle lock, making Dookie tap out. And post-match, of course, Moxley and Suzuki kept brawling. I'm kind of jealous of Jay News that he gets to review that match because that match, it's going to be crazy. Our sixth match of the evening is previewing a bunch of big matches from the New Beginning in Osaka show. It's going to be LIJ threesome versus a Bullet Club threesome as the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Champion Tetsuya Naito teamed up with the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi and Sanada to verse Kenta, Taiji Ishimori, and the Switchblade, Jay White. This was a good match. I won't say great. Definitely had a bunch of the stalling and Bullet Club shenanigans, stopping it from being a very great match. I want to say the closing stretch, though, was really freaking good. Sanada and Ishimori, I don't know if these guys have versed in the past or in other promotions in Japan, but they have really good chemistry. They finished off this match in a very good closing sequence that really highlighted the best part of this matchup. Of course, I did enjoy the interactions between Sanada and Jay White, as well as Naito and Kenta, the preview to two big matchups for the New Beginning in Osaka big match. Over the weekend, it was announced just before the New Beginning in Osaka show that Osaka-jo Hall was sold out. So a credit to Tetsuya Naito. It shows that he is still a big draw with New Japan Pro Wrestling and that they did a great job of establishing him as their top guy at Wrestle Kingdom. But not only that, it says big for Kenta. It shows that he is not only a very great heel when it comes to getting heat from the crowd, but he's a very great heel in getting people to buy a ticket to see him get his ass kicked. So credit to Kenta, credit to Tetsuya Naito. This served a great purpose for the builds for both matchups. You saw kind of the story of Sanada and Jay White is all about Sanada trying to get some momentum. He hasn't won a big singles matchup since the Osaka show during the G1 climax where he defeated Kazuchika Okada. So it's been a long while since Sanada got a big victory. He had the big loss against ZSJ at Wrestle Kingdom. Another big loss against Jay White would really set him back a lot. So, and then the story of Tetsuya Naito and Kenta is all about Tetsuya Naito getting his revenge for Kenta ruining his moment at the Tokyo Dome. So can Kenta get the victory and win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, or will Tetsuya Naito get his revenge? Sanada gets the victory in the end with the skull end on Ishimori, but this was a very good matchup to preview those big matchups for a New Beginning in Osaka. Our seventh match of the night is our banger, or is our match of the night. I gave the match of the night honors for New Beginning in Sapporo Night 1 to Hiroki Goto versus Shingo Takagi, which was the main event for the Never Openweight Championship. This match was even better than that one. It was, I want to say, the best technical matchup I've ever seen Will Ospreay in. The chemistry between him and Zack Sabre Jr. is magic. These guys just know what the other is going to do. They know how to counter the other person and how to make it look flawless and seamless. The pacing was ridiculous. The selling by Will Ospreay, he is one of the best sellers in all of professional wrestling. There was a point in around like 2016, 2017 where some of his selling was a little bit over the top, but he has really gotten into form and he is one of the best sellers in all of New Japan and all of the professional wrestling world. But this was just technical wrestling at its best. If you think Will Ospreay is still flips and moves, you just haven't been watching the last year and a half, because this man has put out great match after great match, and he seems to know how to change up his style to counteract who he's up against in the ring, and he kind of brought more of his technical wrestling ability into this matchup, which really made it great. The opening sequence very much showed how well they know each other, kind of the reversals and the back and forth. Then it became Will Ospreay using his high flying to his advantage and his speed advantage against Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr., of course, countered that with his technical wrestling ability, getting in the submissions and kind of wearing down Will Ospreay until Ospreay was able to regain the momentum and hit big move after big move. Yes, Will Ospreay is not all flips and big moves, but when he hits his flips and big moves, he knows how to make it count and how to make it matter now, and that's what we saw in this matchup. This was the first ever time that it was an all British heavyweight title match in Japan, in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Also worth noting, Will Ospreay was 0-3 going into this matchup in Rev Pro British Heavyweight Championship matchups. This was a fantastic match that just kept building and building. Like, I kind of gave you the synopsis of the story, but you guys just have to watch it and really see what I'm talking about and why it was such a fantastic, incredible encounter. And these guys' chemistry, I want to see it keep going. I know a lot of people have said this, but this rivalry has to keep going because these guys' chemistry is just out of this world. Like I said, it was the best technical matchup I've seen Will Ospreay in. It was probably the best technical matchup I've seen in the past year. And I've seen a lot of New Japan. I saw Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Zack Sabre Jr. in the G1 Climax. I saw Zack Sabre Jr. versus Sonata. Those were great technical matchups. This was even better. Zack Sabre Jr. and Will Ospreay, the best technical matchup I've seen in over a year. This was kind of like, I want to say the best description of this match was the UK British World of Sports style meets the hard-hitting New Japan Pro Wrestling main event style. My good friend Larry Zanuck of 411 Mania kind of said that in his review of the matchup, and I said that's like the best description that I can give for this matchup. World of Sports meets New Japan Pro Wrestling, just very hard-hitting, big moves meets the technical submission work of Zack Sabre Jr., and it just made for an incredible match. In the end, we had a throwback to the G1 finish where Zack Sabre Jr. first locks on the octopus hold and then transitions into the Cobra Twist. Once again, he did that against Will Ospreay, and Will Ospreay passed out. The ref stopped the match. Will Ospreay did not tap out, did not give up. So this feud has to continue. But what an incredible matchup. Please, if there's any matchup that you need to go out of your way to see from either night 1 or night 2 of New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning in Sapporo, it's Will Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the Revolution Pro British Heavyweight Championship. Go out your way and watch that matchup. And then finally, we have our main event of the evening, our 8th match of the night. 8 big matchups on New Beginning in Sapporo, night 2, and it capped off with Kazuchika Okada going one-on-one with Taishi. It had been 12 years since these men went one-on-one. Taishi was coming up in the New Japan promotion, while Kazuchika Okada was a young lion in 2008. Of course, Taishi won because Okada was a young lion. Of course, Okada went on his excursion, went to TNA, was buried in TNA, became a limo driver for Samoa Joe, or whatever you want to call his gimmick back then, and then he came back to New Japan and started the rivalry to end all rivalries in New Japan between him and Hiroshi Tanahashi, and all the fortunes and the careers of both men have kind of paralleled and gone in opposite directions since then. Although this match, to me, this match felt very long, and it seems to be a formula and a pattern of Okada matches. All Okada matches go very long. It goes 20 to 40 minutes when it doesn't really need to all the time. That's why I really enjoyed the Okada versus Jay White match at Wrestle Kingdom 13 last year on January 4th. It was only 15 minutes, and everyone was caught by surprise because we're so used to these long Okada matches that match was just a breath of fresh air. This match felt very long to me, trying to be like an epic, great match, and it just capped off at a very good match to me. I felt like, but even though I felt like it was long, the crowd honestly got more into it as time went on, and the crowd more and more believed that Taishi would pull off the upset. Of course, Taishi, this is his hometown in Sapporo, so he had a bunch of support. He had a good reaction coming out to the ring, good reaction on some of his big spots. The last ride on Okada got a very good near fall that a lot of the fans bought and bid on. And they just got more and more into the crowd. I want to say around the 26 minute mark, that's when the fans really thought Taishi was going to win. Around the 30-minute mark, one of the near falls, honestly, the fans thought he was going to take it. He was going to pull off the upset, and that Okada was going to go deeper and deeper down into the dumps before he starts his redemption. But of course, in the end, Okada pulled it out, but Taichi honestly deserves a lot of credit for this match. He once again stepped up in a big matchup. He's shown this before in the past in his matchups against Tetsuya Naito last year at New Beginning in Sapporo. His matches against Naito after Wrestle Kingdom 12 that helped Naito rebuild after his big loss against Okada back at Wrestle Kingdom 12. He showed this against Hiroshi Tanahashi that same year in 2018. So Taichi, ever since he's come up to the heavyweight division, every time they've put him against a guy that's above him or a tier above him, he kind of steps up to that level and really shows out. So Taichi deserves a lot of credit for that. In the end, Okada got the victory with, of course, the spinning tombstone, followed by the Rainmaker. And once again, Okada shows he's the greatest wrestler in the world because that was the best match I've ever seen Taichi in. You put Okada versus a regular performer, their best match ever happens. He's the GOAT. What can I say? He's the GOAT. So that is all for my New Beginning in Sapporo Night 2 review. Post your comments down below in the comments section and let's discuss this show. What was your match of the night? And I know I've done 2 other reviews in the past for ROH Final Battle 2019. I've done a review for New Beginning in Sapporo Night 1, like I said at the beginning of this. But for the first time, I'm going to give you a rating for the whole show. So my ratings for my show reviews going forward will be out of 10. So for this one, for New Beginning in Sapporo Night 2, I'm going to give it an 8. A very solid 8. A lot of that is due to the Zack Sabre Jr. versus Will Ospreay match, was most definitely my match of the night. The MVP of the night was Will Ospreay for another great, fantastic matchup. And I want to say the co-MVP might be Taichi because he stepped up in the main event. But I want to know from you guys, what was your match of the night? Who was your MVP? Post your comments down below in the comments section and let me know what you thought. Push the like button if you enjoyed this video. And of course, push that subscribe button and push the bell to stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Heel Heat. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. This has been my review for New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning in Sapporo Night 2. Signing off until next time.